I'm a doctor with a degree in psychology, and this is why I use the 12-week year to not only design my own health goals, but to help you design your personal health goals too. The 12-week year is a book by Morin and Lennington that basically shows us we can reach all of the goals that we want to in just 12 weeks. Say you want to lose weight, or say you want to control your blood pressure naturally. You can do that in one 12-week success cycle. I teach exactly how to do this, and I am going to show you step by step. Why do I use a 12-week year? Because a 12-month year is way too abstract for the brain. How many times have you made a New Year's resolution only to get around to, say, April or May and think, oh, I haven't really done anything yet, but I still have a lot of time? Your brain tricks you into thinking that you have all of this time. So we have to bring on that sense of urgency because your life depends on it. This is exactly what we do. Number one, you create a vision. You have to have a vision that you are so passionate about that you are willing to make sacrifices. Reaching your goals is going to be uncomfortable. You are going to have to say no to things. You are going to have to do things that you don't want. I think in some ways we have gone a little too far with listen to your body, sit down and rest. Yeah, of course, your brain and your body is going to tell you to rest all the time. That's what it loves. Our bodies do what our brain tells it. If our brain says, we're tired, we need a rest today, then we're going to sit down and take a rest. But if our brain says, absolutely not, we committed to getting up and moving because we have high cholesterol and we want to lower it naturally, we need to get on that treadmill and start walking, then you are so much more likely to do it if your goal is linked to a very strong, very passionate vision. If you have no idea how to make this, I will teach you how. It's also really important that you come up with 3 words that you can come back to because it's not always about this big, long vision or mission statement. Sometimes you have to think about 3 words: who, what, and why you're doing what you're doing, and you are making sacrifices to get to your ultimate goal. Number 2, we have to define a very measurable 12-week goal. So nothing that's very vague, like I would like to reduce my blood pressure. No, more like I want to see my systolic blood pressure come down 10 points in 12 weeks. And this is exactly how I'm going to do it. We have to have something that we can measure at the end of 12 weeks. Ideally, it's something we can do with objective data like lab work or blood pressure measurements or pounds on a scale. Or we can devise a system of energy. Say, I'm starting with an energy of a 2 out of 10, and I need to get to an 8 out of 10 by the end of these 12 weeks. You have to have a measurable goal. You're basically saying to yourself, what does success look like at 12 weeks? How am I going to define success at the end of these 12 weeks? Number 3, we set daily commitments that are going to help you reach that goal. You know that if you need to lose weight, say you want to lose 10 pounds in 12 weeks and you want to keep it off, then you need to get down daily commitments that are going to help you move the needle toward that goal. So what I mean is if you're somebody who exercises and automatically eats healthier, then exercising is going to be your non-negotiable commitment. That is one of the top 3 things you're going to do to reach your goal. You have to come up with at least 3 very powerful things that are going to help you get to that goal. So in the case of wanting to lose weight, you start tracking how many times a week you exercised, you start tracking how many servings of fruits and vegetables you have, and you start tracking how many sugary drinks you have in 1 week. This is where the weekly execution comes into play. You write down your top 3 commitments on a chart that you are going to track. And then you might write down some supporting ones, like having a cup of green tea every single day, reducing the amount of sweets that you have to less than 1 serving per day, or making sure you're tracking the amount of fiber that you're getting. Am I hitting 25 grams of fiber every single day? You can add supporting habits on to those 3 main ones. But the idea is that you want to write down 3 habits that are non-negotiable that you can do even on your worst days, and then some supporting habits that if you have an absolutely perfect week, if you have ideal conditions for your time and your energy and your amount of stress, then you can do the extra supporting habits to really get to your goal. Every week, you tally up your execution and see from what you committed to doing, how many of those things did you actually do? You give yourself points, you create a percentage, and you make sure that you are at 85% completion or better. Here's an example from one of my weeks. I had 27 commitments this week. I completed 25 of them. If I take 25 and divide it by 27 and then multiply by 100, I get 92%. I had a 92% completion rate of my commitments this week. That is enough to get to your goal. You have to find commitments and habits that can be completed with at least 85% consistency. If you have no idea what those are, I'll help you create them. But know that if you start tracking on your own and you get to a week where you only completed your commitments 50% of the time, something needs to change immediately. Not with you, with your plan. Maybe you have to back down your commitments. Maybe you have to be more specific. Maybe you have to reduce the friction between what you planned and what your reality is. Either way, you need to make a change, because if you're at 85 or better, you're going to reach your goal. If you're at 65 or less, you are not. And we need you to be successful. You take this execution score and you have a weekly reset and review. This is what I do within group. We meet every Sunday night so that we can look at our execution, we can look at our habits and say what worked, what didn't, and where do we make adjustments. We simply use this as information. Is the plan working for our life? Do we need to go back to basics? Do we need to hit the foundations a little bit more? I give you a reach goal every single week so that you can make sure you are getting the basic healthy foundations down and you are incorporating these into your everyday life. Now, you're wanting to track habits for at least 21 days to make sure that they stick. If you get 100% 21 days in a row, 3 weeks in a row, you probably need to push yourself a little bit more. But if you are consistently getting a 70%, then we need to see what we can do to get you closer to 90 so that you can realize all of your dreams. Now, we keep doing that week over week so that we can make adjustments for your real life. If you're doing this on your own, pull out a piece of journal paper, pull out a piece of blank computer paper, and just write down your commitments and start tracking them. It can be as simple as that. If you don't have anybody to hold you accountable, you need to find them, because the accountability piece is what's going to keep you on track. You have to force yourself to go over this information every single week and adjust for the week ahead. If you do all of this, it will work, because the short timeline is going to increase urgency. Weekly feedback reinforces behavior. Execution builds identity. I am the kind of person who chooses healthy food. Identity sustains long-term health. I use a 12-week framework and tracking for freedom, because health change works best with clear goals, simple tracking, and everyday resets for real life. We are in this together for the long haul. You want to look at your life a year from now, 2 years from now, and be a different person because of the small daily choices that you made to get yourself there. And I know that you can do it.